Hello, all you fellow horse addicts. I'm Robert, and this is Maynard, and welcome back to Out of Our Mains, the show where we're out of mains, and you probably are too, because you're listening to two helpless, colorful horse addicts ramble on about a show meant for little girls. How are you doing today, Maynard?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, especially since I have to be the one to do the intro today, because you wanted me to.
Just gotta change things up every once in a
I
while.
keep you on your
Keep
toes.
you guys on your toesies. Yep. All right.
Your toesies.
So it's been a couple weeks. We got lots to talk about today, Robert. We've had a lot of
Yes, we do.
interesting things happen in the past 2 weeks.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
I don't know why I was doing that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
welcome to the Velvet Room. You
Welcome
get
to
that
Out of Our
reference, I
Mains, the
respect you.
podcast where we're out of our mains, and you probably are too.
Shut up. If anyone gets that reference, I respect you.
we're we're both a bunch of big nerds. So yeah, we got plenty of news that has come out recently. A few things that we could probably talk about pretty in depth, as well as we've actually got some tier list updates for you. Me and Robert actually just got done a couple hours ago watching the next few episodes for the tier list and ranking them. So we're going to be talking about that after we're done with the news and everything. One thing I did want to mention, I am a little under the weather, so if I sound a little bit funky today, that's why. I don't
That ain't
think...
gonna stop us, though.
Yeah, no, we're still here. I don't think I got the Rona or anything. I'm pretty sure it's just a head cold, but yeah, one of my roommates is getting tested because he's got basically the same thing. So we'll see the results of that probably tomorrow, but hopefully not.
You can still go to HarmonyCon.
Yeah, exactly. I don't wanna have to stay home. Well, it's 2 weeks, and I've been dealing with the symptoms for about a week. So by then I should not be. I should be.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I should be good by then, even if it is. But there's. Yeah, I would love for it to not be COVID, because that would suck. Because I'm I'm actually doing my last week of work this week, starting tomorrow. I'm changing jobs here pretty soon, and this week is supposed to be my last week, so it would really not be fun if I ended up having to call out of work because the Rona. But um, we're still here though. We're still kicking it. Yeah, because
We're not dead yet.
we're not dead yet. Yeah, because we got too much to talk about this week, and I can't wait any longer to talk about some of this stuff.
Then let's get into it then.
Yeah, let's get right into the news. So,
No, we're just gonna do it.
we're just gonna do it.
Let's just jump into it.
So if you guys have been following recently, there's been a bunch of talk about Netflix removing Friendship is Magic, and they actually finally went through with that. But instead of removing the entire show, they just removed seasons 5 through 8. So seasons 1 through 4, the pre-Starlight era, is still viewable. Which kind of sucks because I like Starlight a
Weird to
lot.
start with those seasons, though.
Yeah, I wonder why they only removed half the series.
Why can't they just yoink it off fully? Like, what the heck?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining. It's an easier way for us
Bronies are
to,
good.
we can continue to watch our episodes up until we get to season 5. So at least for the time being, unless they remove stuff, then we're gonna have to find other legal ways to watch it. But
Totally legal.
yeah. Anyways, though, so if you were worried about not getting to see your favorite episodes from the first 4 seasons, worry no more, because they're still there. I don't know if they're planning on removing them later or anything, but yeah, they're still there for the time being, so I can still watch some of my favorite episodes. So another thing I wanted to talk about, I personally picked this one. It might not be the biggest thing to most people, but I'm pretty excited for it. A studio called Renegade Game Studio has announced two MLP themed board games essentially. There's going to be a tabletop game and there's going to be a deck building game. So those are going to be revealed, I believe, sometime in March. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, keep tabs on that. They're called Renegade Game Studio. I think they're also doing like a Power Rangers thing, but I don't really follow Power Rangers, but
So, how is the tabletop game for My Little Pony even gonna work?
They've actually already done they've done a TTRPG for there was an official tabletop for MLP already.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember what it was called, but it felt sort of like a more simplified D&D, and the big draw of it I believe was that like all the they had set campaigns and it was pretty simplified, but I believe you could like sort through most of the problems through talking and such, which is an interesting concept. I mean, that's true for regular like D&D and such, but it's very underutilized. So having an actual like system for that sort of thing, for persuasion and such, is pretty interesting. Never had the chance to play it though. But yeah. So I'm looking forward to those. Deck building games are pretty interesting as well. So I'm thinking about that. Maybe if it looks good, I'll go and snag a pre-order or something. We'll see. We got a couple new episodes of Cinemare Sins that came out. So for those of you who follow Little Shy FAM series, Cinemare Sins, where he takes apart each episode of MLP and picks out all the individual sins, like the errors and such, or the stuff that generally is accepted as pretty not fun parts of the episode.
Pretty meh.
Yeah. Those are always pretty entertaining, but we got 2 episodes of those, 28 Pranks Later and The Times There Are Changeling. So those came out. By the time we recorded our last episode, 28 Pranks Later had already come out. I just hadn't mentioned it, so my bad. But yeah, so now you know. So go check those out. As well as one of the big things that me and Robert were excited for, and maybe you guys were as well, if you follow the Bronies React series by AC Race Best, they just did a react to MLP A New Generation, the G5 movie.
I've not seen it yet, but I'm excited. I'm gonna probably watch it later.
It's pretty entertaining, and it has some pretty honestly, like, everyone's views on it were kind of mixed. It was generally positive, but there were a lot of like people mentioning little things that weren't perfect about the movie, but a lot of it was just like praising it.
Nothing's perfect, so
yeah, exactly. No, I agreed with a lot of the points they made. There are some aspects of the movie that could have been improved, but I personally adore the movie. It's great.
It's a great movie, despite its flaws.
Yeah, despite its flaws. And I'm gonna skip over the last piece of general news for now, because it's something that we're gonna talk about a lot.
Extensively.
Long-time listeners. Can I say long-time listeners when we
only been
had, like,
I don't. It
7
hasn't even
episodes?
been a year. I wouldn't say that. People who have been listening for like when we started, or like since episode 3.
Yeah. So I'm gonna.
People have been listening. Say since about episode 3, 4.
Yeah, you guys probably already know what it is that we're planning on
Most
talking
popular
about.
episode.
Oh yeah. No, we got more views on that episode than anything else. So but anyways, we'll get back to that. So we've got a little bit of convention news specifically for HarmonyCon. Few special guests and community guests have been announced. So Ingrid Nilsson, the voice of, most well known for her voice for Maud Pie, but she also did Limestone and Marble. She's gonna be at HarmonyCon. So look forward to seeing her there if you're going there.
Maud is amazing. She's like at one with the universe, I swear.
Yeah, oh my gosh. No,
snails.
Maud's a great character. I love that scene in what is it? The Gift of the Mod Pie, where she she intimidates that guy into giving Pinky's a party cannon back.
Uh,
I love that scene. Anyways, so she's gonna be there, as well as Claire Corlett is gonna be there, who is the voice of Sweetie Belle. So look forward to seeing her there. And with the announcement of her, many of you can probably guess that Black Griffin is also going to be there.
yeah, the legend himself.
A popular music artist in the fandom. If you watch Bronies React, you've probably seen him in there too. But yeah, so they're going to be there, as well as Lightning Bliss, who is who's a creator in the like review space of the fandom, fairly well known in the fandom in the reviewers space. So she's going to be there. So that about wraps up the con news. Now, so Robert, yeah, so something came out recently in the past couple of weeks.
Huge. It's a little project, not very popular, called in the fandom, called Elements of Justice, Case 2 of 4. Nothing too big.
Ooh, the next episode of Case 2.
So excited! Was so excited, and we saw it like yesterday.
Yeah, so I want to say that came out about a week ago or so. But
A while ago.
we didn't get to watch it right away because I had a friend staying in town. Or I had a friend staying with me, so
Things happening.
had to wait a little bit. But yeah, we've watched it, and it's good.
Oh boy!
There's a lot to unpack. So I'm just gonna say right now, spoiler warning, if you aren't very interested in EOJ, or if you haven't watched it yet and don't want to be spoiled on this newest episode, pause right here, go and watch the newest episode, and then come back and listen to us, talk about it. Talk a bit about the things that went down in this episode.
And how much we loved it.
Yeah, so
from the top. I believe if I recall, the last to be continued, they were talking about pulling up what was it, Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon or something?
Oh yeah. So yeah, they had to call Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon to the stand because they were shown to it was Silver Spoon's glasses.
Yeah.
They had tested the broken lens they found at the scene and found that they matched her prescription and that she had gotten a new pair of glasses. So it was important that they were brought to the scene, especially since they were suspected to have written that blackmail letter to the CMC. So yeah, so they came to the stand. We got some what is it? We got some great Ace Attorney style, some Phoenix Wright, Professor Layton style.
For those who don't know, there was a mechanic. There's a mechanic in Ace Attorney. For those who aren't in Ace Attorney, you cross-examine witnesses. There's a mechanic in the crossover and the Great Ace Attorney where you can cross-examine multiple witnesses at once, and they did that, and I got really excited because I love that mechanic.
Yeah. The entire time, both of them were up there, and Robert's like, "Are they going to bring the mechanic back? They're going to bring the mechanic back, right?" And I'm like, "Well, maybe they'll just testify at the same time." But no, we got to see a little action of they would take turns testifying, and every once in a while would react to something the other said.
Yeah, if you press them, yeah.
Yeah, and that was fun.
Yeah.
I was very, very happy to see that.
Can we also talk about how it felt like the writers were just unloading frustrations on 5 Diamond Tiara in this episode?
Man, Diamond Tiara was a pain. Holy God!
She was a pain. People were giving her, and everyone there was giving her shit for it. Like I felt like they were like unloading some like pent up frustrations at Diamond Tiara because of that.
Yeah, but so that was a lot of fun. Seeing them get put in their place is always a treat. Yeah, so it ended up coming out that they had, I mean, it was already like assumed, but they confirmed the fact that they were the ones who wrote that blackmail letter. And Diamond Tiara actually planted it in Turning Page's house to try and push
the mother,
the
I
blame.
think.
Yeah, push the blame onto his mother for writing that letter, or Turning Page himself. So that was pretty cool. It was a pretty big reveal. What else happened?
Then they had Scootaloo testify. And Athena got to use the Mood Matrix.
Oh yeah, we got to use the Mood Matrix as well. So we got two really big mechanics that me and Robert have been
We
looking
also got
forward
really
to.
excited seeing that return finally.
Yeah, it's fun to see the Mood Matrix. How that works in the Ace Attorney series is it's Athena's thing. She has this little like robot AI thing, I guess, that
Basically,
translates her thoughts.
she has this AI that
Don't die.
basically helps read the emotions of other people on the stand. You basically pinpoint those emotions to try and get a clear testimony.
Yeah. So essentially, like you'd look through different parts of the testimony and see like an emotion that you wouldn't expect to be there when, Scootaloo looks over and sees a guy dead, impaled by her scooter. She
feels happy.
Feels a little bit of joy, and you're like, what the heck is going on there? Whoa.
Yeah.
Um
Scootaloo's secretly a psychopath. Film theory.
Yeah. Guilty. No, but yeah, just little things like that. You're able to pinpoint those emotions and really bring out more of the testimony that you wouldn't have been able to get out.
Or Athena calls them therapy sessions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Luna was as brutal as ever as the prosecutor.
Yeah. No, I feel like Luna was even more like in the first episode she was like aggressive, but I was kind of afraid that her basically revealing that she was on their side was gonna like put her into a more passive role this episode. I was afraid that Luna was gonna be, more she wasn't gonna feel like a prosecutor and just a secondary co-counsel. But no, there were some pretty big things that she pushed. There were some pretty big things that she pushed against. She really did not want Athena doing her therapy session after her previous blunder, which that scene with Simon was really cool. I liked that a lot. And then, yeah, Luna's position also, it made a lot of sense, given what had happened previously, and given Luna's, close connection with the youth of Equestria and everything. Yeah, I thought it made a lot of sense, but it was also kind of frustrating, because you're like, come on, this is the next step. This is how
this
things
is gonna
are gonna
work.
be solved.
Like, it's meta knowledge, basically. We know it's gonna work.
Yeah. But yeah, that was really cool. Seeing Athena really stand her ground in that.
She got rid of the discord in Scootaloo's heart. No, not the Draconequist.
She kept her from howling at the moon and sleeping in the middle of a summer afternoon, so that's good.
For those of you who are confused, that's what it's called. It's noise or discord. And I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, so Discord, for those of you who aren't educated, Discord is an actual, like, it's a word in the English language. It just means, disruption, or, like, lack of clarity, essentially.
Yeah.
Anyways. So yeah, she was able to clear that, and we also got what was kind of interesting was we found out that there was a clone at the scene.
Yeah, you thought it was a changeling initially.
I thought it was gonna be like a changeling or something like that, but no, it was a mirror pool clone, which is very interesting, especially since
unexpected.
Yeah, especially since the mirror pool was closed off, and we never see any other instance of it like popping up in the main show either. So I'm excited to see where things go from here. Because we've still got at least 2 more episodes of this case, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
so Scootaloo and Turning Page, the ones who were on trial, did officially get declared not guilty.
Yeah.
But now there was some other blood found at the scene mixed with the victim's blood, and people were and they essentially assumed that this would be the killer's blood. And after the trial ended, and after the testing was done on
found out whose blood it was.
Found out whose it was. And it turned out to be none other than Sweetie Belle's.
Yeah, we both fucking lost it.
Like, what? I mean,
yeah.
So they set this up properly. Sweetie Belle was acting. She was kind of sus.
Shut up.
She was acting kind of weird the entire time, like leading up to this not guilty verdict, and even afterwards, she was kind of hesitant. But now she's being put on trial. And the episode just kind of ended there.
Yeah, like the thing is, like you couldn't freak out as much because you were still feeling sick. So I did most of the freaking out. But I assume if you weren't sick, you would freaked out as much as I did.
Yeah, no, I'd like, what? What a twist!
Like, yeah, like what even? Like the final case, like last case, we didn't get like any like questions answered. Like we had questions that still were unanswered when the case was over for that, at least, because you know, why was the mirror pool open? Like, why did the victim clone himself? Stuff like that.
Yeah, we still don't know what the heck went on there. Yeah, we don't know. We still don't know who the true killer is. Any motivations? Any any reason for Turning's father going to the Everfree Forest other than to look for his son? But why the heck was the mirror pool involved? Like, so they're probably gonna do some investigation off screen, like in the middle of, like in between trials. They're probably gonna send someone to investigate the mirror pool and everything.
Oh yeah, and also that male pony that was only showed up once.
Oh yeah. So Sugar Stamp, she showed up early on in one of the episodes. She was like a male pony
once
for the princesses. And seeing just a random like fan-made character pop up was kind of suspicious, but like I completely forgot about her later on.
And like I'm pretty sure when we watched that, I made a joke that she was the culprit.
Yeah, all right, the culprit right here. She fan-made character.
You know,
she's obviously
actually being taken in for investigation.
She is, yes. So she very well could be the murderer. We don't know. But because yeah, I think her like
at least
her stamp or logo or something was found in the wagon, in Scootaloo's wagon.
It was like a muddy imprint. So at the very least, she's related.
Yeah. So that's pretty interesting. As well as she seemed to have delivered a letter to Zecora, supposedly.
Should have, but it never got delivered immediately.
Yeah.
But it had the royal seal, so it was important. Don't know what the letter said, by the way.
We still haven't cracked open that letter. But yeah, I'm excited to see where things go from here. EOJ team, if any of you are listening, you guys did a great job once again. Once
again, like I feel like the animation just further improved from the last episode.
It gets better every time. Like
Yeah,
every episode.
the animation just improved yet again, especially with like the pony rigs.
The
Like they were actually
animation,
like animated really well.
yeah, we got some custom animations, but like the animation gets better. The vocal performances get better with every episode. The audio gets better. Like, oh my gosh, it's
Yeah, and the return of like an old character from Turnabout Storm.
oh
Anna.
yeah, oh yeah. We had shoot, what's her name? Sonata.
I literally just said it, Maynard.
You cut out when you said it.
Sonata.
Okay. Anyways,
Sonata.
yeah. I think Discord cut you out when you said that.
Damn it, Discord, the Draconiquist and the program.
So she returned and she showed up and was the one who provided the blood samples, I believe, for the trial, and ended up bringing up some crucial evidence that ended up turning things on its head.
Mia Pony.
Yeah, Mia Pony. as soon as she showed up, I'm like, it's Mia Horse.
Fans of the Ace Attorney series are gonna know what we were talking about.
Yeah. She showed up, and then we got a glimpse at the very end of the episode. Private Eye, the
detective of that case.
Yeah, the Professor Layton sound-alike, essentially went to, I guess, his boss or whoever sent him to investigate this trial specifically. We got a glimpse at her.
And this person is tied to Royal Order.
She's tied to Royal Order somehow, because she had like a picture of him on her desk with like in the Royal Guard uniform, like next to other Royal Guardsmen. So she's probably going to play a major role, if not in this case, then in a future case. And she just screams. She screams prosecutor.
Does. She's like the Von Karma. You're gonna run into her at some point.
Yeah. She's got this giant like sword thing that she slams into her desk too. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see her pop up.
She has the sword. She's more like the main prosecutor from the crossover.
Yeah, from the
Night
crossover.
Guy.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
Was.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so again, EOJ team, you guys outdid yourselves once again. Our listeners are probably sick and tired of listening to us constantly praise EOJ, so
it's technically still fandom news, and we have a lot to talk about when we see it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big thing in the fandom right now. I'd say it's one of the bigger projects that's currently going on. Maybe not as big as some others, but we're both Ace Attorney fans, and we're both.
It's big to us.
Yes, big to us. So yeah. So I guess we can probably wrap that up, unless there was anything else you wanted to mention in regards to that.
Nothing really. I've already gushed about everything. Like last time we spoke about EOJ because of everything that improved has already like been carried over.
Yeah.
The only thing I will actually mention is that they recreated some of like the stills from Turnabout Storm when they were referencing it.
Oh yeah. So there was like a flashback to Turnabout Storm, and they recreated some of the stuff and actually gave some animations and such. That was really nice.
It was really good.
But yeah. So that about wraps up our EOJ talk for the evening. We could probably talk about it much longer, but we've got tier list stuff to discuss.
Yeah, we've got a tier list. Yep.
So
we have 4 episodes to talk about. Technically 3, but you know, it was a 2-parter, so 4 episodes.
So we just watched Best Night Ever, The Return of Harmony, parts 1 and 2, and Lesson 0.
Lesson 0. Let's wrap up the season 1 tier list real quick with Best Night Ever.
I just want to say before we get into it, all banger episodes.
Yeah, there weren't really any like bad episodes. There was only like a mediocre one with Swarm of the Century, but there weren't really any like bad
Well, no,
episodes.
I mean the ones for today. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
I
But like
I
I'm talking about the tier list as a whole.
yeah
Like the season 1 tier list as a whole, there weren't really any bad episodes because about the tier list as a whole, since this is the season 1 tier list that we're finishing up and moving on to season 2.
yeah we haven't slapped anything into F tier yet. Spoiler alert, I
Yeah.
guess. I just said they were banger episodes, but yeah. So we start off with Best Night Ever, which was very, very fun episode.
Better than I remember.
Yeah, I went into it honestly like expecting that it wasn't gonna meet my expectations because they were so high, but it met them and it even breached them. So we ended up putting that. I want to say, where did we put that?
We put it in A tier between Winter Wrap Up and A Dog and Pony Show.
Okay, gotcha.
Really good episode.
Yeah, very funny. Lots of oh my gosh, just constant gags, like back to back to back.
Celestia had screen time, so that's always good.
I love the donut shop scene at the end.
Yeah.
Really nice. And then just seeing the main six all slowly go insane because of how terrible this thing is.
Yeah, Rarity especially. We got the debut and only episode I think of Blue Blood.
Yeah. Rarity especially. What about Fluttershy?
Fluttershy is their own category.
Fluttershy turned into a different character.
He went balls to the walls and sang, but Rarity,
love me.
yeah, I feel like Rarity was like it was yeah, you almost feel bad for her.
Oh yeah, no, I feel bad for all of them, honestly. Like
none of them had to deal with some stuck up like prick.
Yeah. Are you challenging me? But yeah, seeing
need to use Blue Blood more.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I think I'm pretty sure this is the only episode he ever popped up in, but
yet and rolled with them.
Yeah, yet another character the fandom really gravitated towards and used him in a bunch of things to be the butt of everyone's jokes.
Either butt of the joke or giving him a redemption arc. I like the latter of the two.
I haven't seen anything that's given him
I've seen a couple stories about him like actually being like redeemed in some way.
Huh. Interesting. I like it when people take a dump on him. It's kind of funny.
It is funny.
Not gonna lie.
Funny. It's funny when that happens, but it's also very interesting when they actually make him a meaningful character.
Yeah, like they did with Diamond Tiara.
But we haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah. But yeah, seeing them all lose their minds was tons of fun.
Yeah.
Twilight was pretty relatable in like I hate going to parties and like you're talking to you're trying to have a conversation with one person and people keep coming up and saying hi to one of you and you're just like, I just want to talk.
I just want to talk with my friend.
Yeah, I've got some stuff I need to talk about, and not much time to do it. But
you have my undivided. Oh hey, oh hi,
oh hi, didn't see you there. Good seeing you.
And you're just sitting there, just smiling awkwardly, but dying on the inside
because they're having a conversation that you don't know anything about. Oh,
yeah.
Very fun stuff. But yeah, so Best Night Ever was really good. We put that right above the Dog and Pony Show in A tier. Next up, we had the Season 2 premiere.
The Season 1 tier list is concluded. And how this works, how's this going to work, major tier list, but we're separating each tier list for the season. So we're ranking each season in their separate tier lists.
Yeah.
Not, like, make a bit so that we don't have, like, a big, like, convoluted tier list in the description.
Yeah, we will still have, like, a big tier list for every single episode, and we are going to be ranking them individually.
Maybe I'll make a doc that has the major tier list so people can look at it, so it's just a link in the description.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, so we are still going to be comparing them to episodes, but in the podcast, we're just going to be talking about how they were um, in regards to the rest of the episodes of that season.
In terms of tier lists brought up in episodes, they're isolated.
Yeah.
I would say that we would still bring up like where they are in the major tier list,
Yeah.
but you know.
But we're not
with
going to be
the
like,
normal
we're not going to be like, okay, and the season 2 opener was above Ticketmaster, Call of the Cutie, Cutie Mark Chronicles, Brattle Gossip, and Feeling Pinky Teeny.
No. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
But I just did.
God,
You can't
bro.
stop me.
I'm stopping you.
But yeah, so the season 2 premiere, it was pretty good. I think the second part was the stronger of the two. Part 1, Return of Harmony Part 1, I feel like it was just there to set up a lot of stuff. There were some pretty good gags. I do like...
It was a little bit slow, but you know, again, it was setting things up. This was the season 2 opener was like the introduction of the best character to ever be created in animation, Discord. That is an exaggeration. He's just my favorite character.
No, that's not an that's not an exaggeration at all. Perfectly accurate. Our opinion is fact.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite cartoon characters of all time. So
yeah, he's a very, very fun character. Probably my favorite character.
Delancey voicing Discord is just wonderful. He did a great job.
It just works perfectly. Yeah. I mean, because he's literally Q from Star Trek. So
yeah, he is like Discord is just a lot of fun to watch when he's on screen. He's like animated like very like smooth and like he's very hyperactive in terms of animation, and he's just really funny.
Yeah, the best parts of the episodes are when Discord's on screen.
Honestly,
like, what is it? Part 2's humor was really, really good. There were a lot of fun gags. Tom always gets me. I love Tom.
When they were leaving the Chuck-in treehouse and Twilight's like, "Here comes Tom!"
Bang! Just like 2 holes in the Golden Oak Library. Each for Tom.
I also feel bad for Spike because there was a point where he had to like burp up all those letters and he probably has like a severe case of heartburn because of it.
Oh, yeah, Spike died.
He didn't die, but you know.
Yeah.
He looked like he was about to.
Yeah. Yeah, so Spike's dying.
Yeah.
And Twilight gets reminded of all the lessons that she sent to Celestia that she learned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a nice like culmination of season 1 because it makes all the episodes feel like they actually mean something.
Yeah, it was a good callback. Mentioned a bunch of the previous episodes and their lessons and such. But yeah, the dynamic between I mentioned this while we were watching the episode. The dynamic between Discord and Twilight is just incredible. Like I love where he lifts her up and he's showing her look at all of this like beautiful chaos. He's like try to what is it? It's like try to envision this, and she's like I can't envision anything. It's too dark. Like,
I was like, oh wait a couple minutes.
Wait a couple minutes, it'll be daytime again.
Yeah.
Just Twilight being completely done with his shenanigans. And that dynamic carries over to later seasons as well, which is really nice.
I love the dynamic.
Yeah. Also the bit where he's waiting for where Discord's about to get, or they're trying to use the elements, and Spike is Rainbow Dash, and all the main 6 are Discordified.
Spike's worried he doesn't want to Rainbow Dash to find out he's replacing her.
Discord just like oh yeah, that was a good bit. Discord just like grabbing the sunglasses. He's like, all right, guys, I'm ready. Fire when ready.
Away. I want to look good if I'm going to be stone again.
Exactly. But yeah, Discord is very, very fun. So Yeah, we ended up putting this in A tier. So first episode of season 2 going in A tier. That's a good sign.
And immediately after that, we got an even better episode.
We got Lesson 0, which was way better than I remembered it being. Oh my gosh.
It was incredible. It was a really good episode.
I said in Best Night Ever that the jokes were back to back, but like here they were like standing in line. Definitely, these jokes were not socially distancing at all. They were like,
yeah. Of all the things that could have happened, this is the worst possible thing.
Oh man,
that episode did a running gag correctly.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Yeah, just Rarity's great in this episode.
Tabitha, like always, amazing as Rarity. I will never get over Tabitha as Rarity.
It's incredible. She does a phenomenal job. But yeah, just constant banger jokes. Spike proving to be like one of the best straight men in animated history.
Yeah.
Like
there was like the backdrop of Twilight Screen, he just pushed it away.
What?
Remember like the joke where Twilight was like freaking out in the backdrop and then Spike pushed it away?
God, that killed me, man. I completely forgot about that.
How did you forget? It was such a good joke.
Well, no, I mean I forgot about that before we saw the episode. Or before we watched the episode on rewatch. I had forgotten about it by that point. So when I saw it, it killed me, man. I love that.
Yeah.
They had a lot of really nice, like...
Spike is breaking the fourth wall a surprising amount of times in this episode.
Yeah.
As in more than one.
He pops the like, crazy...
the daydream bubble.
Yeah, and gets her to snap out of it. Spike just showing himself... Bro, this is probably one of the best characterizations of Spike, like, in the entire series.
Spike is best in this episode, fight me.
Spike is a total bro, man.
Well, I don't know if he's had his, like, absolute best, but at this point in time, he is at his best in this episode.
He proves why he's Twilight's #1 assistant.
He's a true bro.
He's
even like kept things from like going like escalating further because he thought to contact Celestia.
Yeah, I don't know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. He's the perfect straight man. Like, he works so well with Twilight. Just seeing Twilight like go through this like mental breakdown, it's funny as a viewer, but at the same time, it's like kind of relatable, honestly, because we all have those moments where there's something little that happens in our life, but it completely throws us off our game and just messes with everything mentally, screws us over, and we're freaking out about it. It may not seem like that big of a deal, but for whatever reason, it's throwing our emotions out of whack.
Yeah. The animators you could tell the animators had such a fun time animating Twilight.
Oh my gosh.
Her expressions are so good.
It's terrifying, man.
Hi, girls!
This is a kids show. Oh. Twilight's scary in this episode.
Yeah. But it's hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just seeing her, like... seeing her freaking out and going to her friends and opening up to them about it, it's kind of frustrating that they just, like, laugh in her face, but it's also kind of understandable given what she's freaking out about, but it's like, it hurts, man.
It's not as easy to tell if it's bothering someone, but in this case, it was so easy to tell it was bothering her. You could tell that she was, like, at a breaking point.
Yeah. But they probably saw it the same way we did, where she's just, like, losing her mind over this little thing, and they just didn't really think too much of it.
And, like, the lesson could have easily been, like, oh, don't like, worry over, like, small things.
Yeah, and it had a little
That
bit of that, but the lesson
yeah,
at the end of
but
the episode,
they took like a different route, and I respect them for it.
it like one of my I was telling Robert after we watched this episode, one of my like biggest things that keeps me from like talking to people when I'm going through something rough is a lot of times I tend to like sell myself short, or like I tend to be like, "Oh, I like there's this little thing that happened that's like making me lose my mind." But it's like it's such a little thing, and so I tell myself, "Oh, it's a little thing. If I tell it to someone, they're just going to laugh in my face." Um or they're not going to understand why this thing is like screwing me up. So I end up, just keeping it to myself and not really bringing it up at all, which is not healthy. If like
Uh,
if you have good friends, like they will respect what you tell them. If you like the smallest things can ruin our entire groove. But just because they seem small doesn't mean that they are small. So don't be ashamed of anything that that you're going through, just because you're worried that someone's gonna think it's not that big a deal. This episode was really good in that regard too. I really liked the lesson of this episode on
the
both
lesson
ends.
was for like the rest of the main six should have like taken Twilight's feelings into account or something.
Hmm.
And Spike is a bro because he's the only one who did that, so he didn't need to learn the lesson. I respect that.
I just love quoting Applejack. I didn't learn anything. I was
Yeah.
right all along. uh, but but yeah, just like banger episode. This is honestly the best episode that we've seen yet, and it set up the theme for this season as well, which is the rest of the main six writing friendship letters to Celestia. Um,
Yeah.
which is a really interesting concept because before it was kind of
Twilight.
awkward having like there were some episodes where it was a little awkward and Twilight had to be there every single episode so that she could write the friendship lesson to Celestia. I feel like they probably did this so they didn't have to restrict themselves to Twilight learning the lesson, um, which is, you know, it's really good. I
Yeah.
think it opens up a lot more opportunities for more interesting scenarios and such with the main six on their own, experiencing their own things and learning their own lessons. But
This episode got the S tier, and we're only like 3 episodes in, and we already got an S tier, so
yeah,
that's a good start.
and for the mega tier list, we actually put this higher than any episode we've
It's
ranked
like
yet.
the best episode we've seen as of now.
Yeah, depending on how the rest of the season goes, I'm thinking of like possibly slapping this into having our first legendary tier be
Ooh,
this
yeah, I
episode.
was thinking like should we like I was thinking like if we should like move it to the legendary tier.
Yeah, because it was like such I don't know why, like but it was so easy right after we watched the episode to just say, "Yeah, best episode we've seen yet." Um
Do we want to put it in legendary right now? Like doing it live?
you know what? Yeah, let's move this to legendary tier. We're doing it live.
Oh shit!
Let's move this
You
to
heard it here.
legendary tier.
The first legendary tier that we've got.
if if that tier ends up being too crowded, we can worry about, moving stuff around a bit. But for now, yeah, I think it's deserving of it because incredible lesson. The humor was spot on. I like probably second funniest episode behind Only Green Isn't Your Color. No musical number. If it was musical
That's fine.
number, if there was a musical number, we'd put this a tier above legendary. Like,
Best episode of all time.
yeah. Yeah, honestly.
Then the theme song update as well was like started
Oh
here
yeah.
and hasn't changed since.
Yep. So we got an updated theme song. They added a couple instruments. They add like a little siren at the beginning. Um, it's a bit more like I guess adventurous. I don't know exactly the word to describe it, but
It's grander.
yeah, it's more grand. Yeah, that's the word. Um, but so the actual theme itself doesn't change from this point through the entire series. We do get visual changes later on, but
We also noticed in this episode that we noticed in season 2 that the horn color in the magic colors actually like changed to how they are now.
oh yeah. Yeah, so they finally they finally cemented how they wanted the magic to look in this episode. As well as right off the bat it felt like the animation quality like jumped up.
It felt smoother.
Yeah. Not that the animation in season 1 is bad, but it just felt so much better.
Yeah. Definite improvement.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, I think that about wraps up our tier list discussion for the day.
Yeah.
And I think that about wraps up our episode.
I think so.
Yeah, we've been recording for about 58 minutes at this point. So
Okay.
almost an hour. So this is our longest episode back from our hiatus. So
Yeah. That's good.
yeah. But thank you guys for listening. If you enjoyed, if you're listening on YouTube, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button.
All the buttons.
Yeah, hit all the buttons. If you're on Spotify, make sure to follow our podcast. Write a review. I think I even put out a poll last time of like, or not a poll, but just like a question people could respond to. Oh yeah, we forgot the question of the episode. So today's question is, what is your favorite, well, what's a lesson from Friendship is Magic that you think gets overlooked a lot? Let's say maybe there was a moral from an episode that you think was particularly good that people just that maybe it was in an episode that people don't really like that much. Maybe it's just a lesson where the episode itself was so good that people forget about it. Or like maybe like most important, maybe you think the lesson is just really important. But yeah, what do you think is an overlooked lesson from the series? So tell
If
us.
there even are any.
Yeah, if you have any. If you have an answer for that, go ahead and leave that in the comments on YouTube, or
Tell us on Twitter.
or tell us on Twitter at Out of Our Mains. Use the hashtag MainPod.
Yeah. Yeah, send us a picture. Send us a picture of like your duct tape or something.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, shoot us a picture on Twitter. But yeah, thanks for listening. Make sure to hit all the buttons. Yeah, tweet at us a picture of your duct tape. And your response.
You can send us anything really. You can send us a question or a picture of like anything really.
Oh yeah,
except for anything naughty. You know, this is a family friendly podcast.
This is, well, not
Not
necessarily
family. It's not family
but
friendly, but you know, it's safe for work.
I wouldn't say we're quite like 18 plus, but like we try to keep things like PG-13 around here.
It's safe for work, so don't send us anything like don't send us anything like naughty.
Yeah. But yeah, if you have any questions,
pictures
for
about
us...
hot single women in our area, please.
Yeah, hot single mares in your area. Ooh,
hot single mares.
Oh
no!
I could make some much worse jokes, but I'm not going to.
Could.
But yeah, if you guys have, if you have an answer to the question, leave it for us in the comments or shoot it to us at Out of Our Mains on Twitter. If you have any questions that you'd like us to address in the podcast, if it's a simple yes or no question, we'll probably answer it in the comments or on Twitter. But if it's something we can talk about more on the podcast, we'll do that. That can be personal stuff. That can, like, oh, what's your favorite color?
Your social security.
Yeah, what's your social security number? We might not answer that, but we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about the fact that was asked, because that'd be interesting. But yeah. So thank you guys for stopping by, and we will see you in a couple weeks. Oh, I'm gonna be at HarmonyCon in a couple weeks, so if you're going there, be sure to look out for me. Let me know that you're gonna
Look
be
out
there.
for the guy.
And, yeah, look for the guy.
I haven't forgotten.
Yeah. Anyways,
No more stalling the outro.
yeah. You guys have a good one.
Have a good few weeks. We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye-bye.